Welcome everybody to the annual Between Rounds talk show run by Silicon Sports and as always hosted by Tonders, which is happens to be me and the Evil Twig. Do you have any words for the opening night, Twig?
Yep, I'm really excited to do the first show of Between Rounds, show you guys kind of what's going on in the Australian Dota scene, well, the Oceanic Dota scene, I should say. Don't want to leave out us guys down here in New Zealand. Definitely not. Excited to kind of showcase everything. Hopefully we'll do a good job of it today as the first episode going live right now. EnterHavoc, do you have anything to say about anything?
Nah, I yelled at the computer all day, so...
Yeah, well, for those of you who don't know, down in the right-hand corner we have EnterHavoc, who's actually a tournament organizer / admin of Silicon Sports. He actually found me and Twig as well, so he's the one to make all this possible.
I found you on the side of a road, you were cold, lonely, I gave you shelter.
Yeah, we were in the gutter. We were in the gutter. We might be able to earn some dinner after this if we
I
do
don't give you food. Like, let's not pretend.
Yep, that's the one. Well, Twig, would you like to do the honours of introducing our special guest today?
Sure. So, Risk from Hans Reborn. They've been doing quite well recently in the Oceanic scene. As of late, they got beaten a few times recently, but teams have their moments and teams have their off moments as well. Noxious Gaming have been playing really well recently as well, so it's kind of tough to always be at the top. But I believe he started off in a team called Chains Stack. Is that right, Risk?
Yeah, it was Chain Stack, but I didn't quite start there. I was in Australian team before that. I was in MCD for a while, so that's where my roots are from. Chain Stack was after the dissolution of the team.
Oh yeah. And that was the team that you beat in N9. Was that?
No. Chain Stack was after N9. Chain Stack was in the C scene. We never versed N9 because there was no N9 at that time.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming along to the first episode, Risk. It's we're very appreciative of the time that you put aside for us, and big shout out to you for coming on. It's always awesome to.
Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
All good. To give everyone an insight on what we're going to be discussing tonight, we'll be starting off with the past few weeks' tournaments and some up-and-coming tournaments as well. Got some new news that'll be announced tonight as well that we'll be doing on stream, so keep in tune for that. We'll then be moving on to the Oceanic scene, not Australian scene, Oceanic as a whole. And after that we have something special for the viewers, and puts a lot of pressure onto Risk, but we're going to be doing a item giveaway, but it's with a twist. We're going to be doing what we call an item air challenge with Risk, which is similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but pretty much we're going to ask him 6 questions. He has A, B, C and D answers. If he answers correctly, then we will give a random viewer either an uncommon or a rare if they're lucky. So that'll probably be in about 20 minutes time into the show, so stick around for that. And afterwards we'll be talking about team climate and how to sort of get sponsorship and what we need to do to sort of strive to that level, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to make the Oceanic scene recognised around the world, and first we need those sponsors. But to start off, I think any other interesting things that you guys have been doing this week, or just the norm? I think I heard Riss say he started a new job. Will that affect your Dota 2 playing times?
Well, it will, kind of, I guess, because obviously I have to sleep at a normal time now. So it will affect it in that manner. But on the whole part, most of the tournaments aren't during standard work hours anyway, so I think it won't really limit my Dota that much. Just probably less pubs, I guess, overall. Maybe less tournament watching. But yeah, apart from that, it should be pretty much the same, I guess.
Pretty much the same. And anything happening in your Dota world, EnterHavoc?
I don't get to play Dota.
I saw you playing some pubs the other day.
Yeah, you saw how that went.
Yeah, maybe stay away from Lich.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think I think I know what Twig's been doing because we're actually on a team together and we've been pretty busy just trying to find a fifth. So I think we did find one. So we'll be playing in tournaments as well for people to watch. But
hopefully smashing Hans pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully smashing Hans. We're trying to get there, but long way to go. I think a few of our teammates are committed like 8 hours a day to practice, so we might get there soon. But first up, we can move on to tournament talk, and the first tournament we can have a look at is which has actually occurred over the last 2 weekends, and that was the Daredevil's Playground, and it boasted a $500 prize pool, and it attracted some of the best teams in the region, such as Noxious Gaming, Can't Say Whips, and of course Hans Reborn. I was just wondering, Risk, how did you find the tournament?
Tournament was very well run. Daredevil Dan and Spec DotA, who was the main caster of the event, they ran a very smooth tournament. So props to them for that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the tournament that Noxious won, right?
Yeah, Noxious won it in the end.
I'm starting to lose a bit of track. Ever since I started work, I'm losing track of what tournaments we're in and which ones we came first and second in. Yeah. The tournament was well run. Do you want me to talk about the actual games?
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is if you guys have the stream open, we can have a look at the upper bracket semi-finals and finals. So we could see there you guys versus North Shore Gaming, while Can't Say Whips and Noxious had a battle out there in the semi-final where Nox got ahead there. I'm not too certain in-game what happened because I was trying to find some VODs but wasn't able to get my hands on them. But of course, your game against North Shore Gaming. How do you remember that one? How that went?
We versed North Shore Gaming twice. We versed them first in the winners bracket quarters, I believe.
Yep.
That was a best of one. That was a fairly straightforward game, I believe. No issues
Did
there.
you just pick Leshrak and Naga and win, or?
I can't quite remember that one. Do you know what hero I played? I can perhaps find it and talk about it a bit more. I've got my Dota profile up here.
Oh yeah. Maybe if you can find it. But yeah, we can see the.
Well, it's probably not that important to be honest. In a way, more important. We versed them again in the losers bracket after losing to Noxious. Yeah. Yep. Those games were even more straightforward to be honest. They didn't play their best at all. The first game they used a sub instead of Guanyin, and they forfeited very early. I'm assuming because Guanyin came back and they wanted to play with their full team, so that game was a complete write-off.
Yeah.
Second game they had their full team, but I'm just trying to remember what they played for mid. I'll try to find the game.
Well, while you try to find that, we can see that they did get knocked down into the semis of the lower bracket, or the quarters, sorry, where they were able to beat 50, and then they went on to verse Can't Say Whips and also got a win there. So really, only losing to Hans in a tournament is not too shabby, I think.
Yeah, they're definitely a very, very good team. I pub with a lot of their players. They're all very strong individually. Coddles and Triple Slash, very strong individual skill players. I know that because I've played with them many times. I've got the game up now, the second one, which had their full team. That was one where I played Enigma. I've missed like 2 black holes. I hit nothing. Definitely not the highlight. But the game was actually quite easy because they did a defensive tri-lane of Alchemist, SD, and Alaway against our Clock, and the Clock did a good job in not dying that often at all. I think he only died once, and he limited the levels of the supports, while we had an Enigma jungle and just a Naga gyro top, so all 3 of us got really good farm. Mid was Alex on the Queen of Pain. Alex is Black Shaitan, of course.
Yeah.
And he was versing the Windrunner. Now, with their team, they rely a lot on their mid player, Guanyin. The fact that we picked the Queen of Pain against the Windrunner really helped us because he couldn't control the game. Their mid player, that's what usually happens when they play. The mid player just runs around and kills everything and really controls the game. So the fact that we had Shagger, or Black Shaitan, as we better know, on mid with the very strong hero of Queen of Pain really limited that. That was probably the main reason why we won. Him and the fact that the Clockwork limited the supports levels.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they're definitely a team to look out for in the future. But
definitely.
Going back to the upper bracket, we can see that you ended up versing Nox in the finals, It was a best of 5, which is probably, is that the first best of 5 tournament in a long time in Australia? I haven't seen a best of 5 for a while.
There was one. Do you remember the iPad tournament? I don't know if you remember. There was a tournament where the first prize was an iPad each. It was not too long ago. I'd say around 2 to 3 months ago. That was also that was run by
NLG, yeah.
NLG, yeah. That was Daredevil Dan alongside some others. And that grand final was the best of 5 as well. We versed Muffin Man's team in the grand final.
Can't say whips. Yeah.
No, it wasn't Can't Say
it
Whips back
Can't Say
then.
Whips at the time?
Nah,
Okay.
I can't remember their name, but it was a mix led by Z Muffin Man. Quite a decent team as well.
Well, I remember I tuned into the because we were casting on that finals day, so we didn't get to watch all your games. But I tuned into the last one where you guys picked a Sand King VS support combo, and it looked like it didn't really pay off for you guys.
Yeah, well, to discuss that series, I think it was best to go back. We versed them in the winners bracket. We lost 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
They picked a lineup we haven't really versed much of previously. They had the TC off lane, and then like a huge team fight. They had this huge AoE like Lina, NA, and heroes like Gyro. This huge AoE, like damage amplified by the TC's aura. So the TC was like the core of their draft. And we were like too cocky. We always want to fight them when we shouldn't. We can't fight their heroes. The heroes are too strong. If you want, I'll get the full lineup up. It'll probably be better.
Because of their new player, K Phoenix, I think.
He's not new.
He's not new. He's been around for a while.
He's been off them for a while, yeah.
Okay. Well, he's. It seems like he does really, really well in that mid lane usually.
He doesn't play the mid. He plays the farmer role usually. He's always been a very solid player, even from Dota 1. So that's no surprise. Toons plays the mid, and he's also the drafter. Yeah, he's the drafter. So he'd probably be making most of the calls, which is quite impressive for a mid player. If your mid player is drafting and making a lot of the calls, very, very impressive, because it's tough. Because the mid player usually has a lot to concentrate on.
Yeah. Well,
so if he is indeed making most of the calls, then it's very, very impressive.
The mid player controls the pace of the game. So for him to be able to think that far ahead in the draft, that's pretty decent for a player. I think.
Yep, definitely.
One of the casters we have on the panel at the moment is a little bit of a fan of Toons, aren't you, Twig?
Yep, I pretty much know all about his style and about what he kind of likes to do. If they pick Lifestealer or Weaver, I usually see them putting Toons on that hero and then they'd put a different hero in mid, like maybe an OD or something of this sort. I know that Toons is just a really aggressive player all of the time, and that in itself just makes it really, really nasty to play against, especially if he's in a farming kind of role.
Yeah, I think he's one of the heroes that really caught us off guard was his Kunkka. It's actually a very tough hero to play against if the Kunkka is quite good. What he does is he gets early levels in X, and then they just pour people mid, and they just aim the mid player a lot. So because he's got that level 2 X quite early, it's very hard to juke the gank. Like you just drop the X on the other hero in mid, and then your 2 supports come in, you land the torrent, and that guy's dead. It's very hard to. It's a very safe gank all the time. Like even if you know they're smoked, you can't hang back forever. You know you want to come in for a bit and get that creep. So as soon as he sees you, he'll put the X on you, torrent you, supports come in, dead, bang. Very, very like they did that to us a lot because he played Kunkka. I think out of the 5 games, hang on, out of the 6 games we versed him, I think he played Kunkka like at least 3 or 4 times.
Wow, so they drafted Kunkka a lot. That's interesting. I know a lot of the Russian teams like to play Kunkka, but yeah, it was good to see that he's sort of coming back. Well, not back. He's always been around, but starting to get used in a lot more strategies. Going on to the next tournament that's sort of going on the way at the moment. We've got the Cyber Gamer tournament, which is actually quite interesting. A lot of money in this tournament. We can see the first few rounds have been played already. Nox played against iPlay and won that one. Mate in 6 beat Azure, and SYF getting probably an upset on Hans. I remember tuning into that game. It was a level 1 rush that they did.
Yep.
and it pulled off.
Firstly, I think it's important to note that Azula was probably the favourite against Maiden 6 as well, and they beat Maiden 6 beat Azula. I think that's quite an upset as well.
Who
I watched
who's
that.
on mate? Like,
Maiden 6, I believe, is like they used to play Dota, most of them, but then they went to Hon, and now they're playing Dota 2. I think that's what the majority of their players are. They have they're led by Gosu Panda, who he used to play Dota 1 and went to Hon, now he's back in Dota 2. He's a quite good farmer, pretty solid from what I've seen.
Well,
they have their mid player is also quite good. I don't know what his real name is. He always switches his account names. He's on my friends list, so I don't know what his real name is, but he's pretty good.
yeah. Well, one of the questions from the chat was, how did you guys lose that game? And,
How did we lose that game? Well, basically at the start, I had me and my brother had massive lag issues where we had to pause for a long time. We were very distracted, and then they took that opportunity and they level 1 rushed, which of course is not a bad thing for them. It's our fault, our lag issues. We didn't see it coming at all, so they took the level 1 rush, and then they just capitalized on that. They had the aggressive tri lane of Luna, Visage, and Rubik. Like, they had a level advantage on us, or 2 levels almost, and they have the Luna Aura and the triple range. So as soon as we make one positional mistake, bang, dead.
Yeah, it was really it's a tri lane that works well if you start off at level 2. But,
I think most tri lanes work well if you've got 2 levels on your friend, but that one is extra deadly.
Plus, the game was a best of 1, so why
Game was the best of 1.
Why not take the chance?
Yeah, for that game, I'd say they played very well, but we were cheesed. It was a cheese strat. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember Barskip was casting it, and he definitely said it was. Since these are in best of 1s, you can definitely pull out some cheese. Where it's necessary.
Full credit to them, though. I mean, of course, yeah, you can pull out the cheese. That's well within their rights. Full credit to them. They came after win, so
yeah, you guys.
Well played. They pulled off really well as well. They played it really well. Although it was a cheese strat, they executed perfectly.
You guys almost came back with the Dark Seer Puck combo. It was close.
Not really, to be honest. They had their BKBs up. It was always gonna be almost impossible, to be honest. We made too many mistakes in the early game, and that coupled with the fact they had 3 Roshans by the 20-minute mark,
yeah,
10, 20, just too much gold, and once they have the BKBs, we can't really fight. The Morphling has no items, completely shut down, so we couldn't come back. Even if it looked like we were maybe doing a bit of a resurgence, it was never going to happen.
Well, unlucky in that one, but there's still, I believe, the prize money for that tournament is really, really high. Let me have a look here. Yeah, it's the prize pool for the Pro League is $2,350, but it's only spread between first and second. It's a lot of money for first and second, but it really requires perfect play almost throughout the whole tournament to get into the money.
Not really. I think top 4 go to the finals, so you can slip a game or 2 there. Once you get to the finals, that's where your perfect play has to come out, though. Obviously, you have to win the majority of your games in the group stage to get to the finals in the first place. But yeah, everyone's still in it. Obviously, even if you've lost one game, you're still in it. You still got a good chance to make it to the finals. Each team plays each other once, so I think it's one game every approximately 2 weeks.
And I think the finals are at the end of November. So it'd be interesting to see who actually get there, because there's a lot of strong teams in that top 8.
Yeah, it certainly is. Just on the prize money, it is really good to see that a tournament does have that kind of prize money, because although other organisers try quite hard, it's really hard to source the money to offer as a prize. So it's really, really good of Cybergamer. Lionberg especially. I know Lionberg does a lot of work.
I think he's in the chat as well, so you can do a big shout out to him.
Yeah, huge shout out to Lionberg and his efforts in bringing this tournament into reality, I guess. He's been working towards it for a long time. He's done a fantastic job. Format's good. Prize money is just so good for an Australian tournament. Yeah, so huge props to him. Well done. Yeah,
well, it's got to start somewhere, doesn't it? So starting off there will encourage, hopefully, because there's not a lot of tournaments around where you have to pay an entry fee to play. So it was good to see all the teams got on board for that.
It was handled really well by them. Very professional from the organisation side, Cybergamer. And if that happens, teams are very willing to pay to enter well-organized tournaments with good prize pools. So again, props to them for that.
Well, that's good. The next tournament that we can have a look at is actually the Oceanic Cup results of the last qualifier round 2 for this one. I believe Hans won the first qualifying, but there was a lot of teams that were busy with other tournaments because there was a lot of tournaments on 2 weekends ago.
Yes, that was difficult.
But yeah, if you want to pipe up about this one, EnterHavoc, we can.
It's pretty. It was a rough bracket actually. Like, Owlie's new team, Snatch Steel, got knocked out by Azure in first round, or Azure in second round actually. So it's one of those brackets where a lot of new teams came in with big players, but they didn't have the seedings, so they just got put up and dominated straight away. So
yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. It was a good game. It was a close game though. But it's good to see that because Ali used to play for your team, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah. He's currently playing with some close friends of his. They're not that good, but they have a lot of fun, and I think that's the most important thing.
That's good.
He was getting too busy to play with us. He has other things to do, so yeah, he stepped aside. He's definitely a really nice guy to play with. I really enjoy playing with him, and he's currently playing with his real life friends or other friends. Rather. Not sure they're not all real life friends. There's some. Yeah. So yeah, good luck to Snatch Steel, and hopefully we verse them in the bar tournament, the Defense of the Australians. We're both playing that.
yeah, that should be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Azure ended up taking that. They're looking really strong lately. Like, they just keep getting better and better. I think they're just practicing really, like, they seem to just be really stable in their practice regime. It seems to be really working out for them. Because they've certainly improved.
Azure?
Yeah, Azure, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot of inconsistencies, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're not that stable. They have been improving, but also the fact that they don't have their full team for a lot of tournaments.
Yeah,
that
definitely
hurts them. I think with their full team, yeah, quite stable and improving, but they need to actually get everyone on for tournament games.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you, Hal.
Mm-hmm.
Get it. Start showing up for your matches, Hal. Please. Letting your team down.
Well, you've been called out now.
That's a big ask. Hopefully he listens.
But yeah, that was a long tournament actually on Sunday. That was like what, a 77-minute game.
Well, yeah, there was a 77-minute game between Fablet Esports and
just
Super
kept going.
Trust.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've never seen a Weaver split push for 77 minutes, but now I have. It's,
The score was like 16-26 or something, and all 16 kills were on Weaver.
Really?
Yeah,
I missed that one.
it was a good game.
It's
It was a
probably
very
a good figure.
It was hard to cast, honestly. Like, it just kept going. Just
Well, for those of you out there who want to get a bit more involved in the Oceanic Cup, we can see here on the stream we've got the web page up, and usually you just need to go to Dota 2 Oceanic Cup. The news is there as well, of course, which will bring updates on everything that is Silicon. Hopefully, yeah, here we go. So just waiting for picture. Yeah. So we can see here a few updates, and of course there's a little timer thing on the side where you can see the time that the tournaments and between rounds cast, because we'll be casting between rounds episodes every 2 weeks, so the next one will be in, of course, 2 weeks time. But anything else you need to shout out to Oceanic Cup?
Nope.
Just make it clear that's the last chance before the finals, so teams have to get in this week, or else you won't be playing the finals the week after.
Yeah, there's
You might
three.
be able to lose to Hans Reborn if you don't enter.
No, field is very even now, so can't say that. Definitely not. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
that's true.
Good competition.
Well, Nox haven't qualified yet, so you're gonna have a hard time beating them this week, because they said they're ready to win this week.
Oh, they
So,
are playing this week?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they'll have some competition, bro. There'll be other teams that haven't entered the last two because of that. The Daredevil Dan tournament.
Daredevil Playground. Yep.
Yeah, Daredevil Playground. So it'll be probably the toughest bracket of the 3 weeks.
Well, yeah. So far,
Good-
week
good to
one,
watch.
Hans qualified. Week 2 is all qualified, and then week 3 will be the big tournament where, well, not big tournament, but big qualifier, where a few teams are able to play, which will be good. So that's this Sunday, starting at 2 p.m. AEST. Just remember that I think Australian daylight savings kick in this.
Oh God.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does it mean? What do we do?
we lose an hour of
Means
sleep.
less sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
Well, I'm from
Leave work and
Queensland,
we'll still be
so
bright.
we're like retarded and don't have daylight savings. So I'll be an hour before you guys. Well, it's hard. Life is hard. But, yeah. So just if you're in different time zones, remember to check up on your time zone. Otherwise, you could be late or early for tournaments, which is
And I'm just gonna disqualify you. So
yeah. You don't want to unleash the wrath of our tournament organizer. That's
Havoc.
EnterHavoc. But yeah, so that's the last tournament I think we have to talk about for the previously. Now the next one is actually the next one that we're going to have a little chat about is the Southern Cross DotA. Let's have a look. The
Tide's Wrath.
Yeah, Tide's Wrath, which is a tournament we had a little bit of chat before we started. I'm quite looking forward to it. The headsets it's actually more of a personal thing. One of our teammates, our mid player, doesn't have a mic, so we need to win to give him a headset. Shout out to
It's
Miguel.
his chance.
Yeah, it's his chance. But we can bring up here, so we can have a look. Tide's Wrath, sponsored by TTE Sports. Now we have a bit of an announcement to make. The brackets have been released, and I'll just pull it up here on the stream, so we can have a look at the. There's 8 groups, and as far as I can remember, I think there's 2 games per week, and yeah, so we can have a look in the group 1. The team that stands out most is probably Can't Say Whips, so that's Go Dots and Muffin Man's team, and they should probably get the top of that group. I think it's the top 2 teams, or I'll have to bring up the other website later to see how many teams make it through to the final stages. But that's bracket 1. We'll have a look at bracket 2 now. We can see in this one SYF's here, Solution. We've seen them play in some Oceanic Cups, and a few other teams that I don't quite recognise. But again, SYF's playing. So far, Can't Say Whips, SYF, some of the top Australian teams are playing. Where are we going to see your team, Risk? Is it?
Here we go.
There it is. There it is. Group 3 is where Hans Reborn's team is. And I think the other team of note in there is 50. They're pretty strong individual players. And
Yeah, that's T-Duck.
yeah, T-Duck's team. Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. Probably they rely more on the individual play because I'm assuming they don't get much practice as a team. So yeah, that'll be a good competition. But I think we should be able to beat them fairly easily.
I think there's a team here called Proudly Sponsored by Centrelink.
Classy name.
That's the best name.
Like, I'm putting all my money on them.
Yeah. I reckon. Well, let's keep going. Group 4. We're halfway through now. We can see Noxious Gaming, TSG, and Rest are all in this one.
Yeah, that's a good group.
And Vici Gaming AU. I don't know if that's the official Vici Gaming AU, but it's
say probably Rest are probably the favourites in that
well, I don't know. We'll have to wait
in
and
that
see.
bracket. Probably.
But yeah, so Noxious is now playing as well. One of the other top teams in Australia, and TSG and Rest are also up there in like the tier 2, tier 3 bracket, maybe tier 2 bracket.
That's going to be really, TSG, like, they just, they're sort of like sort of an average tier 2, high tier 2 team, and then some days they'll just come out and they'll just play incredibly strong. It's not consistent though, that's the thing.
I think they're the opposite of what we're talking about with 50. Probably not that good individually, not known at all individually, but sometimes their teamwork can really hold them in good stead. So, yeah, good luck to them.
Well, it looks like I'm having some refresh page issues. Here we are. We're on the right one. Alright, bracket 5. We've got iPlay playing in this one. They're a strong team. Definitely seen them around in the scene quite a bit lately. And not any other names I recognise, but I bet half these teams are probably just good players with troll names. But we'll have to see.
Seen Ernardo play. They played in the Oceanic Cup.
The next one actually is pretty strong group as well. We've got Azor and Maton 6. Well, there is an Invidious Esports there, but I don't think it's the actual Invidious. But
I'm pretty sure it is.
Pretty sure it is?
Well, I don't know if you're thinking of a different Invidious Esports, but...
There's only one, isn't there?
Well, sorry, no, there's... I thought there was... I think I got the name mixed up. There was like a C...
Invictus Gaming?
Yeah.
You mixing them up?
Maybe.
Just
maybe
slightly wrong there. I think.
Okay.
I hear all those guys come from New Zealand. Those IG guys.
Yeah. IG. Yeah. All right. Strong bracket. So it looks like so far, if we can get this thing to load up again, but it looks so far all the top teams are playing, and it's going to be pretty exciting because there's I can have a look at the schedule here. Yeah. So pretty much starting next Monday is when the group stages will begin, and pretty much I think you play two rounds a week, Monday to Thursday, for 4 weeks, and then after that finals are on. If you want to see the actual page, just go to Southern Cross Dota and it'll be there in the reports. But so yeah, awesome that they got this. They've still got gaming mice and keyboards as well to give away as prizes. So I think it's okay. It's not money, but it's something for the community.
And it's consistent too, so that's good.
I reckon, to be honest, they should have maybe held out and tried to source a better prize. I mean, they've held 2 good seasons previously, and to bring in this season with just 5 heads, I know it's very hard to get prize money. I know you can't just grow money on trees. But maybe if they waited a bit, there's no rush. There's other events going on right now. Because I haven't played in a Tide draft before. I wasn't really in the Australian scene, but I know they've built their name as a really reputable tournament with like good standing in the community. So I'm not too sure about their move to rush ahead and go ahead of this tournament. But whatever, it's up to them. That's just my opinion. It's up to them.
I think they'll get a very good viewership.
Yeah. I hope so. And then I understand that they're looking towards their next tournament already. Perhaps they can use those numbers to source out a prize for the next one.
And look, it is hard. Like, I mean, tournament organizer here, it is so hard to get.
I know.
Like,
I know. But I just think there's no rush. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not trying to put anyone down. The more tournaments, the better. But I think that there's no rush. They could have maybe waited.
Well, you've tags in chat now, and the guy who runs it, and he's kind of shocked. So.
All the good teams entered, so that's fine, and we're happy to play. I'm just giving my personal opinion.
Of course.
I have nothing against Tag. It's good that he's running the tournament. So.
It'll be an awesome tournament. So, what day does that start?
Next Monday is when they start up, so we'll be able to see those on streams next week. So can't wait to see those tournaments. I think that's all the tournament talk done for now. That actually took a lot more time than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So we'll quickly move on. But
we had a lot to talk about, but let's probably just stick to the whole tournament side of it right now, since we're probably going way over what we expected in terms of time frame.
Well, definitely. First shows of the week. It's definitely getting the times right is pretty tough, but here we are.
Just reading the chat. They're asking about my thoughts on the Alatanen Do you want me to quickly go over that? Because I was holding out till I saw the draft. I've got the draft up now. Do you mind if I quickly go over that?
Yep.
Yeah, so Nox like to take the Elder Titan early and then build like a high burst damage type of draft. A very team fight heavy. So they move around as 5, they take their towers. If the other team is stupid enough to come in for a fight, they clean them up. So the lineup, for example, they had this game. They had the Kunkka mid, Lina, Gyro, and the Nyx in the safe lane trio, and the Elder Titan off lane. We ran like... This was the second game of the losers bracket. We were kind of shocked in the first game that we got crushed, and maybe a bit embarrassed as well. So we decided to go with a really also like a team fight heavy lineup to we wanted to mow them, beat them quite hard. So we went with a hero like Tide, who we usually don't pick, but obviously Tide is quite good in the 5v5 engagements. So we had Tide, Leshrac, and Timby tri-lane bottom, Timbersaw.
Mm-hmm.
What we're trying to do there
tri-lane, was it, with Timber?
What we're trying to do there is just play safe and just try to zone them out a bit, give the Timby some levels, give him a bit of farm, and then we can leave the lane and go elsewhere. Just give him the start he needs, basically, to be able to stand in the lane. We had the Bounty Hunt on the safe lane, which is quite good against Elder Titan in the lane, because BH against like another melee hero, it's usually...
Should be able to
BH is
harass
quite
them
strong.
with Janata.
Yeah, harass, Orb of Venom, just whack them, take them down. And if they make one mistake, you use the Orb of Venom, it slows them down, chase them down and kill them. Mid we had the DK, just for like the engagement stun against the Kunkka. I think Kunkka wins that matchup though, but that's okay.
Kunkka vs DK.
What went wrong there though was straight away at bottom, I died on the Tide. I was out of position, I died. The Gyro had boots. I think he was expecting a solo Timbersaw, so he got boots first up, so he can just he can chase the Timby down. And after that we quickly switched to top, me and the other support, because we can't handle their tri-lane anymore. And at that point they're already at a big advantage, because the Gyrocopter's getting the early BKB, because we've got nothing to shut him down at bottom, and the rest of the heroes are getting levels. And then what they do is they just group up as 5. Once they have like a few core items, like BKB on Gyro, that's pretty much all they need, BKB on Gyro. They just group up as 5, hit the tower, and then when we come in, they use the Elder Titan like to just reduce the armor. You know how you send the spirit at someone and it reduces the armor? The Elder Titan doesn't have to be near them to reduce the armor. And then when we walk in, we just get destroyed by their nukes, because we have no magic resistance and no armor.
Do you think ET will get nerfed in the next Ice Frog patch?
It's hard to say, to be honest. It's hard to say because...
I think he's been getting like first pick, first ban in the Chinese
yeah,
scene
but
as well.
That was in Dota 1 as well. He's been like that for a long time, and he hasn't been touched. He was nerfed though, slightly in Dota 2. I think his spirit had a lot of vision. They nerfed its vision. I think it had flying vision. That's a kind of like a pretty big nerf, to be honest. Flying vision is huge. Like, you know, if you have Bat Rider and you're flying, you have a lot of vision. That got nerfed a bit as well. With Elder Titan, you used to send it out and see everything around you a lot. Now you see much less though. But yeah, I don't know how you nerf him though. How do you nerf him? It's just his aura which destroys people, to be honest. The rest of his skills are alright. Like, you can land a good stun. The spirit is good because it provides like a device to use that aura on people far away. So you don't have to come in and die. You can just stand far away and use your aura with the spirit. And his ultimate is not that easy to land.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure how you nerf it. Do you nerf the aura?
I think the aura is where you have to, don't you? Because like not many other
slightly, you reckon?
Yeah, well, not many supports actually like scale as good as he does into the late
Well, he's
game.
not really a support.
Well, yeah, not a support, sorry, but
most teams use him as a mid solo, and they just skip the first skill completely. So they just focus on the spirit and aura. It's basically, do you know Magnetor, the old Magnetor of the Bottle Crow? It's basically the same thing, except you don't have skewer. You just got shockwave. They're just using the shockwave. But yeah, back on track to them. They use the Elder Titan really well just to control the fights. It's if the other team is suckered into playing that game where you want a 5v5, you won't win. Simply because of the reduced magic resistance and physical damage.
I remember we versed them in a scrim a few weeks ago, I think, and we picked a Void, and they had ET, and like one fight at a rage pit, Void got like 4. We're like, yes, everyone, get in there, do damage, and then the stomp comes out from ET, and everyone's just like, oops, mistakes were made. But yeah, so very strong hero, and we haven't seen
Also-
like Noxious is probably the first team to start picking him consistently.
In Australian scene, yeah, but I think Americans are using like a lot in their little league, whatever that league is called. Hang on, it's called NA Elite League. There's that ticket for it. I think they use it a lot in that. They just run it solo mid, so it's different to what Noxious does. Noxious just runs it in a suicide lane, boots, and if it's against a tri lane, you just use your spirits to harass the supports and steal some pool creeps. If it's 1v1, you just do what you can, get levels, and then focus on the team fights later. The other thing about their lineup is once you have like a gyro with BKB, if you go on the gyro, it's hard to kill him. Like you stun lock him, yeah, it's hard to kill him, but if you have a ship coming at you as well because of the rum. So that's the other thing. They have all these. You have to go in to kill the gyro to win the fight, but the problem is they have all these backup for him. They have the TC stun, who the TC will just sit at the back and stun with his spirit, and the Kanka will just throw a ship at you when you come in. And the gyro will get the rum on him, so he'll end up activating his BKB, getting his spells off and killing you, and you won't kill him. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few tournaments, how teams decide to deal with the Elder Titan, because it's definitely a problem.
We banned it. They still had other strats, though.
Just ban it.
We played the one game where we were very successful. We did a very patient split push type of game. We probably should have gone with that for the rest, but we got too cocky, to be honest. After that first game, we beat them very easily. That was the one where we had an anti-mage. I don't know if you guys saw that one. We
only saw the last one. Well, I only saw the last one.
First one we had just like pure split push. The Furion, off lane, anti-mage, Nyx, and I think it was Leshrac, because that's all that Lippy plays on safe lane. And then mid was Puck, Shag on the Puck. So that was the one game where our mid they did really well. They didn't really focus mid because they had Weaver. Can't really kill with Weaver. Can't kill a Puck. That was the one game where our mid did really well. And then Alex gave Dan balls, the space necessary to just get his 6 items up. And then they just made these stupid mistakes, like the Tiny would run in to death while the rest of the team was defending another lane.
To death.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, he was basically just coming out. I think he got frustrated. He just came outside the base, got hexed, and then died while the rest of his team was defending the other lane. But yeah, we should have continued along that kind of line of play, but we didn't. We got too cocky. We wanted to fight them. We all play for fun. We don't like to play that kind of game. We like to fight and like get kills. We like to mow. We call it mowing.
Mowing.
We like to mow people down.
The mow strat from Hans.
Yeah. Well, we generally always try to mow. That's why a lot of the time you won't see us play like a hard carry. Like you might see Bounty Hunter being the hard carry, but it's not a hard carry. He's just running around getting kills. So I don't know. Maybe in the future we might have to take games more seriously.
Well, as the scene evolves,
draft for the win.
As the scene evolves, you have to evolve with it. So
yeah, of course, teams are getting stronger. So maybe we need to resort to more boring tactics.
Well, just for boring tactics. Well, just for the viewers, I think it's time to start our.
Here we go. We go.
Who wants to be an item heir? Alrighty. Alright, this took me like so long to get up and going, but we are here. So just for everyone to know, what's going to happen is Risk is going to answer 6 questions, A, B, C, D format. He doesn't have any caller friends or anything. That wouldn't be fair. So he's all on his own. And
no lifelines.
I'll that's what the bot in the chat was earlier. It's just there to random a name out of the chat. So that random name then messages the Silicon Twitch inbox with your Steam ID, and we'll add you and give you either an uncommon or a rare, depending on how good the question was or how hard it was. So we'll have to see how we go. Now, all the pressure on Risk.
Yeah, everyone's gonna hate me if I don't get much right. Items going down the drain. So
Now, some of
hopefully-
these questions are pretty easy, and some of them are pretty hard. So, and shout out to Twig for helping me come up with these yesterday. What was your favourite one, Twig? I won't. I'll wait for it to come around, and then you can let me know.
Yep,
But,
no worries.
So, first question. We have, what is Troll Warlord's personal name? Rigwell, Jarakal, Azwraith, or Squeeze, Spleen, and Spoon?
Oh, that's Jack. The B.
B?
Yeah, it's
And-
Jack Rokal or whatever. That's easy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
answer is B. So, Jarakal is that one.
Give him
So,
a mythical vote. Wasn't that easy?
well, my own personal items I'm giving away here, guys. Please, go easy on me. Alright, so we'll see what that does. Hopefully that does something. Oh,
I'm the winner!
What?
Yes!
Oh wow, nah, it's not allowed. Come on.
I knew you. You're gonna give me all your rares today.
Nah, you gotta do it again.
yeah,
Do it again.
we'll roll again.
Oh.
We'll roll again.
Oh.
We'll start a new one.
Probably Grass Muncher might deserve one. That's a great name. Grass Muncher 15.
We'll try it again. And this
Oh
one's,
no, that's rigged. Do it again.
That's
Do it again. Do it again.
Honestly, this is completely random. There is
Yeah.
no. So, I think we already have Endless Winter on Steam. So,
AFK. He's AFK. Just do
so
it.
he gets the first item.
He's
Alright.
not AFK. He's in
He is-
chat.
He is not AFK.
Well, if someone could make sure they write down who the winners' names are, we make sure we give them out after the show.
Really
but-
hope it's not to earn when I get right.
So, second question. Here we go.
Alright.
What is the small camp neutral unit that can cast Chain Lightning called? A. Harpy Stormcrafter. B. Harpy Stormcaller, my personal favourite. C. Harpy Stormballer. Or D. Harpy Stormcatcher.
Oh, that's tough. Wait, can you say them again?
Okay, so A.
I'm not
Is-
googling it or anything. I promise.
A is Harpy Stormcrafter. B
It's not that.
is Harpy Stormcaller. Or C is Harpy Stormballer. And D is Harpy Stormcatcher.
I'm leaning
gi-
towards C.
I'll
No,
give
I'm
you.
joking, it's not C.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Alright, lock in B, Eddie.
B. Lock and B. Alright, we'll see the answer. Here we go. It is Harpy Stormcrafter.
Was that B?
No, that was A. So.
Oh no! It was not. Man, that was the one I dismissed straight away.
yeah,
as
you
well.
dismissed it straight away. I was just giggling to myself because I knew
Alright,
that.
next question. Next question.
Next
Let's-
question.
Don't give him a chance to flame me.
Yeah,
Next
no.
question.
Next question, we'll go quick. Alright, this is a personal favourite. What is Nyx's assassin's base strength? A. 20. B. 18. C. 19. Or D. 21. I know this is a hero that you play quite often, so.
Yeah, if it's your favorite hero, you should know.
I don't look at his base strength. That's ridiculous. Oh
Well,
my
you've got A through to D, so good luck.
Oh, I don't know. Just go C. Was that 19?
C is, well, yeah, so A is 20, B is 18, C is 19, and D is 21.
Just go C.
C,
19, yeah.
the answer is 18.
Oh.
No one can blame me for that. Come on. No one looks at base strength with heroes.
So that's the second one. I'm
They
like,
just get harder from here. We expected you to get those ones, so...
What? I
Yep.
was studying the base attributes of heroes. That's not what I play Dota for.
okay, what is the duration of the melee slow effect of Eye of Skadi? A 3, B 4, C 5, or D 3.5?
I think it's C. I think it's 5. It can't be less than that. It costs so much.
Alright, well, what do you, what's your answer?
A.
A?
Yeah.
So this is the melee slow effect of Eye of Skadi.
And
Repeat
I've
it.
had a change of heart. I'm going for A.
Going for A?
Yeah.
It was actually 5. For some reason I didn't blow that up, but it's 5. So C was the correct answer.
Oh no!
But-
Next time, I'm not following the chat.
but-
I'm going for my gut feeling.
To give you a second chance on this one, how much does Eye of Skadi cost?
Oh no! I don't know what Orb Venom costs. Alright, so it's 1.2.
So this is the backup question for failing. How much does Eye of Skadi cost? I love the chat.
Alright, chat, stop. You're not helping. Everyone's throwing different numbers at me. Alright, hang on. 5.4, and then I don't buy Orb of Venom. 250? 275?
Oh, this is the best. This is the best idea I've come up with, like, in my whole life. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have. You say your answer. If it's wrong or right, I'll give out an item. Why not?
Alright, 5,775.
5,000. So we've got 2 ultimate orbs, 2,100 each. Puts us at 4,200 plus 1,200 from the.
Oh no, 5.
So that puts us at.
I don't-
That puts us at 5,6 plus 275.
Oh, oh no.
Oh no,
my bad.
5,4. 5,4. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, I'm 100 off.
But yeah, it's 5,675. I think
Yeah, so
tunes-
I dropped
tunes
maths
has
at
it.
uni. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I just didn't do maths at school. Hey, that was a waste of my life. But
Yeah,
anyway, so here we go. Random giveaway. Hopefully, it's not to anyone that we know. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
give a random one.
Ba, ba, ba. Who is it? And the winner is Duckville. Lol.
Yeah, good. That's a good guy. He's a caster. He's a
Well
good
done,
caster.
Duckville.
Congrats to
Too
Duckville.
strong. Now, I don't think we have your Steam ID, so if you could just inbox the Silicon Sports chat, then that would be awesome, and we'll give you your item after the cast. Now, 5th question. 2 more questions to go, guys. Number 5. All right. There are 2 birds sitting
This is
atop.
my favorite.
Oh, what is this?
There are 2 birds sitting atop the Radiant Secret Shop. What color are they? What colors are they? You've seen, honestly, every time you go to the secret shop, you see these birds.
I don't look for that. That's a credit to Valve that they actually have birds flying around in the game. They're not required.
All right, well,
It's not necessary.
It's A to D, and if you get this completely wrong, then I might give you another backup question.
Okay.
So A is green and red, B is blue and purple, C is yellow and green, and D is blue and green. Which one do you choose?
Let's go D. I don't know.
D.
20.
Alright. Blue and green, you're right.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god. What?
Yes. It had
Wow.
to be D. 'Cause it had a D yet, so.
Yes. Oh, what is that? I tried to make sure that you couldn't do that to me. So, well done. Another giveaway. Jackie305. Jackie305. If you
Yeah.
could inbox the Silicon Sports chat your Steam ID, we'll give you an item afterwards. And now the last question. This one was one from a fan, actually. So, someone you've met in real life as well.
No.
So, this one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk was Synthetic, Silicon staff, the night that he talked to you
this is
at
so
Felix
easy.
Bar? A,
11.
11. Alright, so the answer is 10, which you pretty much had it right. 11 was close enough. So, so last giveaway, guys. Hopefully we can do it. Here we go. Randoming, and the winner is
Silicon Synthetic.
Silicon Synthetic. It's still calculating. Fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction
Congrats, Fiction.
is the winner. So, congrats, Fiction. We will, if you can send your Steam ID through to the Silicon Sports inbox, we will be able to give you your item afterwards. Now, I think that's it now for the Who Wants to Be an Itemaire? And you did pretty good of it. Eventually, you got 4 out of 6. That was
Yeah, I
pretty good.
got one wrong, which I should have gone off my gut. But
Yeah,
the chat persuaded me, but I shouldn't be persuaded so easily.
yeah. Don't be persuaded by the chat. That's never listen to
Lesson
chat.
learned. Follow
That's
your heart, everyone.
rule number 1 of Twitch chat. Never listen to Twitch chat. Twitch chat's pretty good. Alright, so we're back. I can see Twig and I can see EnterHavoc. This is good. So we've been going for about almost 50 minutes now. Was there any other last topics we needed to cover? I think maybe the sponsorship topic, just quickly.
Yeah, may as well touch on that.
So do you want to go away with that one, Havoc?
Yeah, I mean, basically it was more just like an open question. I mean, I'm an organizer, you guys casters, and Risk is obviously a player. I mean, what do you think in terms of the tournament scene? What do you think we need to do to get more sponsorships or more sponsors into the scene? I mean, obviously I have a very different view, so I want to just hear your guys' opinions.
We'll start with Twig. Twig can go first. So what do you reckon,
Yeah,
Twig?
sure. The main thing that I think for sponsors will quite often look for viewership in something. So if a lot of people are watching a tournament, for example, or watching the scene, then sponsors will immediately get interested. It's a really good place to put an ad, for example, with the big between the summit streams. You see ads like for computer gear all the time, and that's pretty much probably the best way to do it, is just to get heaps of viewers. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
So that was Twig. I lost Twig's sound.
Yeah, I think we've lost Twig.
Yeah,
Oh,
Twig's-
no!
There we go. There we
yeah,
go.
he's back up and running.
Did you miss everything I said, or?
Well, probably the last 5 seconds actually. So whatever your ending answer was. Whatever you just said.
The
missed.
best way to do it is probably to get a whole bunch of viewers, but that's easier said than done. That's
Well, Risk can spiel away now.
Well, firstly, I'll just say for the Cyber Gamer tournament, I was hoping that they could find an agreement between themselves and like someone like Beyond the Summit. I understand Dota Talk is a very good streaming company, but if we were able to get Beyond the Summit casting the Cyber Gamer tournament, then we get like really big numbers just by their pure subscriber base. They'd probably be interested to be like, Beyond the Summit is on, I'm gonna go watch that because of it. Like, there's so many subscribers. So what Evil Twig was saying, that we do somehow need to get a lot of viewers to get all these sponsors interested. But the issue is, I don't think Australia has the viewer base. We also need people from other countries watching our scene. Not a lot of people are really interested in Dota in Australia. That's the fact, to be honest. Like gaming is not part of our culture. It's not
physical
it's not
sport
really,
is generally Australian.
Yeah,
culture.
Of course. AFL, we compare that to like a scene like Korea, where esports is bigger than sport. Basically, I'm not too sure. I would have loved to have Beyond the Summit as the broadcast partner for Cybergamer. I know that didn't work out. They got Dota Talk instead, which is still good. Games are getting decent viewership, but I'm not too sure how to get even greater viewership to entice new sponsors to come in and other sponsors to put in more resources into the scene. I'm not too sure. Maybe events need to hold out on, like they shouldn't start events unless they're entirely satisfied with their prize pool. Perhaps there's a lot of people have said this for a long time. The Dota 2 scene in Australia is comprised mainly of multiple small tournaments. Maybe if the organizers could work together and they could source out more sponsors between them and get better sponsorship deals. But I know that's easier said than done, because not everyone wants to work together as well. People want to promote their own organization.
Look, I mean, it's one of those things where obviously talking to a lot of different organizers, everyone's got that thing of, we should really all work together, and it's the only way it's going to work. But then everyone's like, well, I don't want to step down from my position.
Exactly.
You guys all have to step down and join my team. So that's what it's like, a stalemate, and everyone, it's not aggressive at all. Everyone's working towards the same goal, but it's just no one actually wants to take that step down.
Yeah, it's like that in anything in life, not just Dota. It's normal. So a lot of people that do suggest that everyone works together, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I mean, obviously, like, we're exactly the same. I'm not pretending we're any different.
Yeah, of
Like,
course, it's fine.
we just want to grow our own organization as well. We want to grow esports in Australia, but it's one of those things where we can't. It's difficult to work together with anybody who's already in an organization.
Yeah. Hopefully, the Cyber Gamer tournament is a step in the right direction. They're already getting decent viewer numbers, I believe. The Daredevil Playground tournament, I think in game the message was coming up that there's over 100 spectators in game, which has never been seen before for an Australian tournament. This is the Grand Final series.
Yeah.
For almost every game in the Grand Final series. So that's a really good sign, a good step in the right direction. And I'm hoping that as we near the end of the Cyber Gamer League, the finals, maybe we can get like I'm not too sure about how ticket sales are going. That's another big thing now.
Well, we
haven't discussed ticket sales.
Yeah, the only tournament that has been in Dota TV, isn't it? The up and coming Defense of the Australians, or is
There's also
it
Cyber Gamer.
They started today. They've
so
already
it is
been
out
selling
today.
tickets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
So
won't get a real number until maybe another week's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be maybe what the Oz scene needs. You get some added revenue from ticket sales. People from other countries will be interested because they want the item drops, which you can sell. So we don't really care as long as it boosts viewer numbers, whatever the purpose is people are watching for.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, because at the moment, I'm sure the ticket sales are going absolutely awesome for both Cyber Gamer and Defense of the Australians.
We
but
got confirmation
that's not
from
last.
Weinberg that ticket sales are going good. So
Yeah, but
That's excellent, yeah.
that's not going to last. Like, obviously, at the moment, I know plenty of my friends were just like, "Oh my god, Australian tournament! I've got to buy this ticket," and that's not going to last forever. I mean, it's
you need quality casting, quality games, teams turning up on time, making sure they're full rosters there. Like to get sponsors, you need to have everyone helping out each other. The teams have to do their part. They have to always be proper. I know there's a lot of everyone's friends, so there's a lot of sort of people on the outside who don't know this could see as harsh ball chat sometimes when teams play each other. So there's also like team names that are also quite funny as well. Like it's good, but because everyone knows each other and it's all fine. But sometimes people don't understand that, and you never see that in any of the other scenes.
You do, to be honest. America has that kind of stuff. I think for like the Cyber Gamer tournament, I think most people will be quite professional in all chat when their games are being like their ticket games. I think most people will be quite professional. Admins won't start unless your proper team names are on. So they're not going to start with like Lippy Leshrak Fan Squad or anything. They're going to wait until the proper team is up. So yeah, I think that's alright.
Oh well,
That shouldn't be much of an issue. And Flame has been a part of the Dota in all scenes. Well, not all actually. In mainly a bit in Europe and a fair bit in America. Maybe Asia not so much. There is instances, but it's been a part of those scenes for a while now. So it's not a huge deal, to be honest.
Yeah.
A bit of friendly banter.
Oh, it's good. Definitely.
Not a huge deal, yeah. As long as you're not like flaming someone's mum in all chat.
Yeah. It should be okay, but
alright,
the main thing is also I think everyone sort of the top teams turn up on time anyway.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very important.
Because you say this game's going to start at this time, you really want it to start pretty close to probably within a 10-minute range, like after that time maybe. But because you lose viewers, like if people find you unreliable, they're not going to tune in. Yeah,
punctuality is extremely important. Like I can't stress that enough. Not just for viewers as well. Like respect to other teams. You need to be on time. Like you shouldn't let another team wait for you. If your game starts at 9, you need to be there a bit early, or you need to be there right on time. You need to be in the game. It's just respect to everyone.
Yep. And we need the viewers, and unfortunately, the Dota Oceanic community isn't as big as the other regions in the world. So we have to reach out to the other regions to get views.
I think we do have a large audience for it. It's just that a lot of them are not into esports because esports really hasn't hit Australia properly yet.
Yeah.
It's especially the Melbourne scene. Like the Melbourne scene is enormous. Well, at least it was in Dota 1. So it's
progressively got smaller, I think, towards the end of Dota 1. It was actually quite big, very early days. When I first started getting into competitive, the scene was quite big. There was a lot of good teams. There was okay, so who were the good teams back then? What's that? There was the like SGS. There was I can't remember the names, but there was a lot of good teams. Like Hans, you remember Freelance Hans? Our team is named after Freelance Hans. He was like one of the juggernauts of Australian Dota back then. There was a lot of juggernauts. There was Black Shaitan, Get Lost, Freelance Hans, Happy Roach. There's a lot of like really big names in the scene. We don't really have that anymore, to be honest. Like we still have Black Shaitan, of course, but we're not really. There's not really a lot of spread out big names. So a lot of people have just basically retired, or people that were studying here have gone overseas. So the scene is actually it's shrunk.
Well, I
There's
guess
a lot of new players coming in
because for people to sort of commit a bit more time. Like generally, they want to try to get something out of it, and we still haven't got like the prize pools. Or there's like the Cyber Gamer tournament's a massive prize pool, but we haven't had that like a lot of sponsorship money. So that's what we need to do to try to get the bigger prize pools.
Look, I mean, in terms of, like you said, a lot of the players have left. I mean, it's becoming almost a mantra at this point in the Australian scene, but there isn't the bored Aussie anymore. Like, we don't have that anymore. And I mean, guys like Southern Cross Dota are doing a lot for it, but it's still not the same as what it was. Everyone's not in the same place anymore. So that definitely hurts a lot as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's something that started up just recently, the new IXDL chat. That's been working pretty well from what I can see over the past week or so, or however long it's been out.
Couple days,
yeah. But everyone's been getting onto that, which is good, and that's where the community can sort of interact with each other and get to play with each other, become friends, and that's where teams can sort of grow out of, which is good. Just more people need to. I just don't think people know about it. Not know about it just yet.
From what I've heard, it's quite successful, but we have to remember we have had a lot of in-house leagues in the past, both Dota 1 and Dota 2, and they start off quite successful, and then they just taper off, and then people stop playing later on. I'm not too sure why that happens. I think what they're going to have to do to keep people playing is actually introduce prizes, to be honest. I think eventually, right now it's a big craze because, we have stats, we have bots that organize games, but eventually that's just going to die out. People's going to be like, who cares? But if you maybe bring prizes in for not just top 3, you need to encourage most games.
Yeah.
And maybe a few other like random prizes just for participating in the league.
Yeah, you could have
reward the good players.
You could have obviously the random thing again. You could random a prize, or
at the end of the season.
Yeah, if you've
a random member. If you've played more than a certain number of games, you get a prize. Something like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's also the most games played. You can put most rating points gained and lost as well, like to show that you are playing a lot.
From memory, wasn't it? The old Oceanic DotA League did that back in the day. They had a lot of little prizes for that sort of stuff. Just like most games played and things like that. And that was like, I mean, it's gone now. It died out, but just little things like that.
But why did it die out? Do you know? I don't know. I've never really played in any Dota 2 leagues. I haven't played in this one only because I've started my new job. I've been very busy.
The only interaction I had with them was that I used their website to start the Oceanic Cup.
Okay. So you're not too sure why it died out?
No, I think like it was one of those things where it's just people, they only the only reason they go to that website is to like get to play that, and if they don't want to play that, they're not going there for anything else. So it's one of those things where it wasn't a client, I suppose, which also doesn't help. It's hard to say. I don't really know a lot about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope the ICL is quite successful. It'll be good for the scene.
And they're doing a lot of good work, like in terms of getting rid of the negativity in there. Got rid of a few of the bad eggs.
You have to be a bit careful there, though, because like banter is a big thing in Oz Dota. You have to be careful where you draw the line. Now, I'm not too sure if their bans are. I know a few of my friends are banned. I've just saw them whining. I'm not too sure if it was justified or not. I just think that the admins have to be careful.
Yeah.
You can't put your foot down too hard because.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, we're just like it's young people playing Dota, or in the most part, we're quite young playing Dota, and there's just a lot of banter being thrown around.
Yeah, and I think at least from my perspective of it, they've just been sort of trying to deal with getting rid of the bad eggs in terms of admins, and then hoping that
that's fine.
Trickles down into the actual scene itself.
The last thing you want is some corrupted admins. We've had a lot of corrupted admins in the past.
Apparently,
It sounds funny, but corruption was a big word on board Aussies. Corruption. I remember that quite clearly. Like Chups. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know Chups, but Chups was a corrupt admin on board Aussie. A guy called Chups.
Yeah, there's always like a couple mods in anything Dota that everyone's just like, oh my god, that guy.
Well, that's the thing. Like once you start playing, you start to know people, and that's how the community thrives. Like if you know who's in it, who you're playing against, their personality, stuff like that, it makes you want to play more because you're like, well, I want to play Dota because I know that I'll be able to play with people that I like playing with. You know, like rather than solo queuing into oblivion. Like,
yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's got a long way to go. I mean, even just like as an outsider's perspective, IXDL just seems so hostile, even after the whole revamp, and that's just from purely an outsider's perspective who has no
idea of Dota.
No real idea. Yeah, I have no idea of Dota. I'm terrible at Dota.
Mid fight, runs to other lane.
Yep.
It's all good, but yeah, I think the word needs to get out there as well. Like, still, there's a lot of play. It'd be interesting to see if we could get like actual number of how many people play Dota individually in Australia, but because then you can sort of build around that. But I don't think Valve will let us have those numbers.
Yeah.
A lot of people still play Dota 1 as well. Did you guys realise that? There's a lot of pub rooms that are filled during the days. Dota 1, GGC pub rooms, Greener, sorry, now it's called Greener. So the full scene hasn't actually switched over.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even just like, like I know I've got a few friends whose little brothers still play loads of Dota 1.
Yep, it's quite common.
Like, because they can play it on a USB stick at school, so they all load it up. And they don't play Dota 2 because Dota 1 you can just play the offline entirely. You don't have to worry about it. So,
well, yeah, I think the world is still changing over to Dota 2 as well. There's still a lot of players playing Dota 1, but it's just preference. It's a preference thing. Like, I guess if you don't really want to play for much money, then you play Dota 1. But if you want to, I don't know, it's hard.
People switch. Like, as it becomes more accessible.
Accessibility is the key.
Steam OS will probably open up Steam a bit more to offline play, I'm hoping, which should lead to an easier sort of LAN experience for Dota, even after local play has been introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say one more thing on IXDL?
Yep.
A lot of the new players will get flamed. I know that for sure. What tends to happen is some of the how should I put it? The lower skilled, the more known players. Some of the more known players are actually not that good, but they think they are. So what they tend to do when they're losing is blame people they don't recognize because it's easy to scapegoat them. It's just a bit of advice to the new players. You need to just basically ignore that. That's the only way to deal with it. You need to just ignore them and just move on. If you lose that game, it's okay. Just ignore the guy. If he actually thinks you played really bad, I'm sure there's some sort of warn system where that player can get punished. Otherwise, you just move on and go to the next game. A lot of people might get discouraged if they get flamed all game by someone, and it might be their first game in the league. It might be just like, oh, XDL, I heard from a friend it's good. What's the what's it all about? Like, I want to check it out, and they get flamed all game in the first game. They just have to, just basically ignore the person that's flaming them and move on and hope for a better experience in the next game.
Same as regular matchmaking.
Yeah, but again, that player might genuinely not be good enough. So if that's the case, you should just get warned out after a few games.
Yep.
Like because I'm assuming there'll be some sort of warning system. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're brand new, IXL may not be the best place to start. But after
If you're brand new to Dota,
definitely, maybe after you've played like 300 to 400 games, you can probably switch over and not get as flamed as much, because you'll generally understand the mechanics and have a little bit more game sense than you would.
Some people will flame you even if you're playing well, though.
Yeah.
You need to find the scapegoat to make them feel good.
Yeah, like if you have a team fight and like someone's not there, straight away you blame that person for not being there.
Exactly. You have a team fight, your positioning is wrong, you die, you blame someone else. It happens a lot. And it's not just by unknown players. A lot of the more known players who are supposedly meant to be good at the game will do this kind of stuff. I've been in the scene for a while, I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So, yeah, just be aware of that.
Yep. Well, we've now hit the hour and 10-minute mark. So I know that you can't hang around forever, Risk.
A lot of fun, bro.
Yeah, I think all in all the show was a pretty good success, and thanks for all the viewers for tuning in as well. I really enjoyed the chats, the item giveaway.
The item giveaway went well, but Risk,
definitely.
man, come on.
I did okay.
Base strength on Nyx,
It's
come on.
you're probably your most played hero as well. Like if we look at his profile.
If you ask me that question again now, I'd probably still get it wrong. It's like in through one ear, out through the other.
So you haven't learnt anything, is what you're saying?
The birds are, was it blue and green?
Yeah.
I think I retained that one, yeah.
Yeah, you got the blue
cool.
and green. Everyone's going to go back and have a look now.
That'll help when you're at TI4, man. That'll help. You'll be in the grand final, and you'll need to know that, and then suddenly you're gonna win.
Cool,
all right?
pretty cool decision. What color are the birds?
Well,
You'll be vindicated, screaming blue and green.
Well, yeah. It was definitely great having you on, Risk, and thanks for coming on to the inaugural show of Between Rounds, which will be every 2 weeks, and we'll try to keep it on a Thursday if we can. It will depend on sort of what special guests we can get in and their availability, but if you follow the Twitch channel, and there's also the Twitch channel of Silicon Sports, there's also Facebook and Twitter there, you can see there on the overlay, as well as if you go have a look at the website, most of the time, every time it'll always, all the information will be there. And any shout outs lastly before we end it?
Just shout out to my team, I guess, and everyone else in the channel called the Homo Hive on Skype. Thanks for having me on, and I'll look forward to listening in on your future shows. I think it's great for the scene what you guys are doing with the show. So good effort, and really enjoyed myself today. Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's good. And Twig first. Any shout outs? I'm sure your roommates have got on to you about shouting them out, as they usually do.
No, he didn't threaten me with my internet today, so I don't need to do a shout out to him. But I might as well. Shout out to Kesper, just so he doesn't disconnect me from the internet. And shout out to mainly, I guess, my team, because they might be watching. So Tonders, me. Am I allowed to do that? Shout out to myself? I guess I am. But shout out to Miguel, M-God, the Puck of Destiny, and shout out to Andrew and Chris. Yep.
Awesome. And Havoc, your last one? Any shout outs?
Shout outs to Lawler and Glenn and at Silicon, and to Babu as well, because he'll kill me if I don't. But I think we're going to play some games after this.
So everyone that's still in the chat, if you guys want to join the Silicon Sports Dota 2 chat in game, then we will organise some PUBG Wars, same Hero Wars, all mid. If you want to come play, have some fun with the Silicon team. I think Risk has to go, so maybe he can't come this time, but I'm sure he might try to make some
He's
time.
got to
eventually.
go like learn about the different colours of animals on the Dota map now.
Yeah, that's the one. And
Maybe some other time.
some other time. But yeah, if you guys can go join us there, I'm gonna go and have a look at the inbox of the Silicon Sports to all those people that, well, the 4 people that got prizes, not including Twig. That was
Aw.
just stupid. I don't know how you got randomed, but but yeah, I'll go give those items out as well. Make sure the credibility of the show is there. But, and yeah, we'll see you guys back here in 2 weeks. Just remember to follow the channels and keep up to date on the website. See you all soon.